Every campaign looks perfect at the HQ level. But what happens when it lands in the store, in the hotel or the local market? That's where things get real, and that's where brand consistency is tested. Today we'll look at how local marketeers, those who bring campaigns to life on the ground, make brand stories real with GraFx Experience. We'll explore 3 scenarios: hospitality, retail and shopper marketing, to show how the same foundation can adapt to each of these domains. And along the way, we'll share 3 very concrete tips you can apply in your own setup tomorrow. Let's start with the hotel experience. Everything you'll see today will be managed in Chili GraFx. On the one hand, you have local marketeers who engage GraFx Experience to retrieve the assets they need for local campaigns. On the other hand, you have GraFx Studio, where the HQ designers produce the campaigns for local execution. We are enabling local marketeers, field marketeers. They come in many different flavors. What? Who are they?
This really depends on your vertical. It even depends on the structure of your company. So for example, what we see in hospitality, that's typically an operations manager. That person might want to promote a local event and needs to produce, let's say, an elevator poster. Or maybe he or she needs to adapt the prices on the menu in the restaurant. In retail, that's a different role. In retail, we're talking about a regional or a store marketeer who wants to run a local promotion, a local campaign. They typically adapt content provided by HQ and adapt it for that specific campaign. Mm-hmm. And then in the shopper marketing use case, we typically are talking about a brand activation manager who is doing something similar. He or she is adapting content provided by HQ and adapting it to create an experience in a specific store. So all of these roles have one common goal. They need to produce localized content fast, but at the same time, they need to stay on brand. And maybe we can switch to Raf, who can show us how this is done in hospitality using GraFx Experience.
Okay, Raf?
Thanks, guys. I'm logged in as a field marketeer managing 2 hotel brands, Chill City and Chill Resort. What I see here depends entirely on permissions. I have access to both brands, so both appear in the portal. Let's continue with Chill Resort. Let's open the elevator poster and advertise tonight's live music event. Change the event name, add a picture of the band, add the date and time, and all layouts instantly adapt for print or digital screens. Now, I'll open the breakfast menu. I can change language, prices, or opening hours, and add the special of the day. The layout and brand styling stay intact automatically. We did all this for the Chill Resort, but if I switch to Chill City, you'll see the same content, but for the different brand. If I would manage other brands in the group, I would see even more brands. Let me finish with a great tip. When you build your design system, think multi-brand from day one. That mindset makes it easier to maintain and scale while staying relevant for each brand. For example, one system can support both event posters and dining menus across all hotels. Just swap the brand and you're ready to go.
So one login, multiple brands, fast, safe, always on brand. Bart, all of this comes from a single design system. What does that mean?
Indeed, all of this runs on a single design system with predefined brand guidelines, predefined data connections. Maybe we can let Raf show us how this is typically set up in GraFx Studio.
In GraFx Studio, each campaign is built on a design system. Layouts, brand kits, assets, and connections to a DAM. Designers don't make one design per format anymore. We create adaptable layouts such as horizontal, vertical, and square that resize intelligently. The brand kit applies logos, colors, and fonts, while conditional rules handle behaviors like hiding expired promos. We also build in visual safeguards. For example, a gradient overlay, and drop shadows to ensure readability even when images change. Designers define which parts are editable, and the DAM controls which assets field marketeers can use. Multi-format preview in GraFx Experience shows how everything connects before export.
So Bart, one design drives it all. We see flexible layouts, governed rules, role-based access for local users. Let's apply this to a retail use case. How does this work in retail?
Well, we've already talked about the regional manager or the store manager. They typically need to set up a local campaign with local products in a local language, with local prices. They base this on materials provided by headquarters, but they need to make adaptations. They need some kind of flexibility. But at the same time, we want to make sure that whatever they produce stays on brand. And we can do that because the brand guidelines are defined in the design system. The data connections are also in there, so they can produce fast and they stay on brand. Maybe we can switch to Raf, and Raf can show us how to produce, for example, a digital signage using both Studio and GraFx Experience.
Thanks, guys. Here, we're in chill retail, a multi-brand environment. Think larger grocery stores that need to promote their own products and products of the brands they sell. As a local store owner, I bring campaigns to life in store. Posters, screens, and offers all stay brand safe. Let's open the weekly offers campaign to display on the in-house digital signage screens. I'll pick a product and pull data from the PIM. Price, SKU, and description populate automatically. Now, I update the local price to match the promotion and export for digital signage. MP4 or HTML out, both ready for in-store display systems. Let me add a tip for retail. When you build your design system, connect it to your product data early. It helps you preview real products inside your layouts before production, so design decisions match what field marketeers will actually use.
Okay, thanks Raf. Wart, again we see same foundation, different output, posters, screens, multiple outputs from the same design system. We looked at hospitality, now retail. You mentioned shopper marketing before. How is shopper marketing different from what we've seen so far?
Well, in retail, we are promoting multiple products by multiple brands. In the shopper marketing use case, we are promoting a single product, single promotion of a single brand. It's the brand who is running a campaign in the store. And the goal is to influence the buyer to buy a specific product. So we need different materials across the store to influence that buyer. So for example, we need floor stickers, we need danglers, we need window stickers. And window stickers are actually a good example of how customized it needs to be, because window sizes are different across the country. So we need that kind of flexibility. Maybe we can let Raf show us how you can set this up again in Studio and Experience.
Thanks, guys. The field marketeer selects the Chill Chips campaign and prepares two outputs, digital out-of-home and a window sticker. For digital out-of-home, they update the product image and tagline. The animation adjusts automatically. For the sticker, they enter the store's window size. GraFx Experience resizes the artwork precisely, protecting all brand guidelines. The smart resize functionality will make sure to generate the right output according to the guidelines. Let me close with one more tip for shopper marketing. When you design, always test the edge cases. Some print outputs can be unusually large or have very different proportions. Reach out to a few stores and ask for their biggest or most unusual window sizes. If your layouts work perfectly on those, they'll handle everything else without a problem. Guys, back to you.
Okay, Wart, we had a look at 3 industries, 1 solution that served across the board. What do you need to get this done?
Well, you need a governed design system to be able to produce multi-format assets. You need a self-service portal with fine-grained permissions. And both of these are available on the GraFx platform.
Excellent. All right. If you are ready to accelerate your global campaign execution and change how your central teams enable your field marketing, local marketing, store managers, get in touch today, book an advisory session with our team. We'll help define your audience, your permissions, your data sources, and your first campaign pack. Reach out now. Thank you.